I have thought about this a lot. I have spoken to various filmmakers like Mr. Bansali and different filmmakers, having a take on how do you make a film on Mr. Raj Kapoor's life. You see, a biopic is not something that you just highlight the success factor or the highs in a person's life. You truly have to portray someone's life honestly, you know, showing the lows, showing the struggles, showing the relationship dynamics. So it's a very tough biopic to make. Most of the things, I don't know if my family will agree also, you know, to show this side of Raj Kapoor, but I think it'll definitely make into a great movie. So it's definitely back in my mind. We were upstairs playing and we were looking down in the garden and we could just see a sea of people. I've never seen so many people in my life. And I really understood that day, okay, this man has some standing, has some value, he's done something. That's why so many people have come to pay him respect. So that memory will always stay with me, especially when they took his body. And there was, the entire Chembur road was filled with people. Yeah, so these are my early memories of him. सारी डायरेक्टर थे और हम करजत में शूट कर रहे थे, तो पापा हैड कम वन डे टू सी द शूटिंग। और जब वो सेट पे आए तो ऐसा सब जगह ऐसे देखने लगे और उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो बड़ा बुद्धा का हेड यहाँ क्यों पड़ा है, इतने सारे विंडोज है, लोग कहाँ हैं, सिर्फ तू और सोनम क्यों सड़कों पे ऐसे चलते जा रहे हैं, रात क्यों है, दिन कब होगा। सो ही आस्क्ड मी दी सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस एंड आई डिडंट रियली हैव आंसर्स, यू नो। आई वाज लाइक, you're old school now, you know, this is really cool filmmaking and all of that. But I remember he sat in the car and he told my mom कि ये picture कभी चलने नहीं वाली, you know. You cannot alienate your audience with place and time, you know. There has to be some relatability. And again, उस वक्त मुझे, you know, I didn't value what he said, but I completely understand what he meant. He was always amazing at making love stories. I would really be interested. I know it's a popcorn film, but the way he would direct Ye Jawani Hai Deewani, you know, he would really celebrate it, really celebrate the characters, the music. And one song of his that I really like dancing to, or would like dancing to, is I like two songs also apart from Kisi Ki Muskurahat, which is Ichak Dana, Bichak Dana, and I like Mood Mood Ke Na De. I like both these. Ranbir sir, occupational hazard. You know, you have to. It's a visual medium, so you can't let loose. So I've had my mother's side also, who's always kind of controlling. You know, she's always, you know, put it in our heads that you have to be healthy, and you look at your family. They have so many problems of, you know, ailments and all of that. So I've really taken more towards my mom's side and father's side. Not out of choice, just because I knew that I had to be an actor and I had to listen to them. Yeah, something which always touches anybody. You don't need to know the language, you know, as long as the melody, the singing. Music is such an art form that really, you know, touches your soul. But I think also the characters and the stories he made films on, it's something which was universally appealing. Not just the Soviet Union, you know, if it's Eastern Europe, if it was the Middle East, if it was Southeast Asia. I remember when I was a student in New York, I used to wait for cab drivers who were from Russia or Ukraine, because whenever they got to know that I was from the Raj Kapoor family, they gave me a free ride. They never took money from me. So I was always, you know, I used to hail a cab and I used to first ask, where are you from? And if he said Russia, I used to sit in the cab and start a conversation. You know, I mean, that was his impact. You know, like I said, I went to a film school in New York. When they were talking about the Kislovskis and all the filmmakers from around the world, they were also mentioning Raj Kapoor and Guru Dutt, you know. So that was his impact, and his impact was only through his work, the movies he made. मैम, ऐसे तो बहुत सारे उदाहरण हैं, बट मुझे एक पल याद है कि चिंबूर में जब पार्टीज़ होती थी, तो हम जब बच्चे थे हम भी वहाँ जाते थे और बहुत सारे लोग होते थे फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के, सब वहाँ मौजूद होते थे। और जहाँ वो रहते थे एक बड़ा सा गार्डन हुआ करता था, और क्योंकि हम बच्चे थे तो हम नंगे पैर वहाँ खेला करते थे। तो once I was bitten by a lot of red ants, and this was like in the middle of the night, and Mr. Raj Kapoor was in the middle of the party and having a great time. But having seen कि I was in some form of pain and trouble, उन्होंने खुद मुझे उठाया, उनके बाथरूम लेकर गए, मेरे पैर धोने लगे. So that's one moment I really remember. आपका दूसरा क्वेश्चन क्या था?
राज कपूर साहब से एक्टिंग की कौन सी बारीकी आपने सीखी?
I think you know, मैं यहाँ honestly बताना चाहूँगा कि I was a bigger fan of Raj Kapoor as a director than an actor. I've been in, and even now, when he is my godfather. Everything I know about films, everything I know about acting, it's something that I learned from him. So for me, I'm working with him again after 17 years. It still feels the same. I'm still in awe of him. I respect him so much. And he hasn't changed at all. He's somebody who's extremely hardworking. All he thinks about is his movies. He just wants to speak about the character. He just wants you to create, do something different. So extremely excited, and he's very excited that it's going to be the 100th birth year of Mr. Raj Kapoor.
Why do you want us to lose our jobs? Tell me that.
No, I'm far from it. But yeah, I realized that, the opportunities of being an actor came easily. I come from a privileged setting, so of course I had the opportunities, and I didn't want to take that for granted. I want to do my best. And the more I worked with good directors, and I worked with a lot of good directors in the Hindi film industry, the more I realized what a hard and a selfless job direction is. Acting is tough too, but it's far more easier than directing a movie. My grandfather directed, acted, produced, wrote, edited a film at the age of 24, which was Arg. Was at 24, right? Yeah, at the age of 24. I'm 42 today, and I still don't have the courage to direct a film. I produced a movie called Jagga Jasoos, which again didn't work at the box office. But it's something which definitely I have a burning ambition. I'm waiting for a story to come because, a director should make a movie only if he has a story to tell, not just for the sake of making a movie. Two films that come to my mind is Shri 400 Beeks. I love the story of a vagabond, somebody who has stars in his eyes, very hopeful, and how he makes it, how he deals with fame. That's something which really spoke to me. I loved the music in the film, the performances, everything. And the second film, which is probably my favorite, is Jagte Raho. It was a film that he didn't direct, but he acted and produced. And that film really spoke to me, especially at a time when I was in film school. I was seeing films of different cultures, different countries. And when I saw Jagte Raho, I was like, yeah, this should be up there with all the other films that we watch from all over the world, which are applauded and given accolades. So Jagte Raho and Shri 400 Beeks.